start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions,
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, man, let's do it. Oh, that's it. Well, come on, Johnson. That's okay. That did not work. What's up, people? How y'all doing? All right. What is up? What is up, Wolfpack? Is that okay? Where are we here? That's okay. I don't know what that's doing. What's up, people? My name is Tim Black. You're tuned into the Tim Black Show. Look okay. What's going on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and somebody else's house? Twitter. That's it. With so many places, it gets crazy. What is going on, y'all? Let me make sure we good. Wow. Man, tonight's show is sponsored by Keith Weston, y'all. Give it up for Keith Weston. Good night. Keith Weston just dropped a bomb. Give it up for Keith Weston one more time, y'all. Wow. Big Keith in the house. Thank you, Keith, for all you do, my brother. It's finally Friday, says Keith. And we made it through this week together. I want to thank Tim and Kay, Lovejoy. I received the wristbands. Give it up for that. That's dope. He got those before he went out to work tonight. That's great. I'm wearing both bands right now. Keep rocking, TB. We're getting better and stronger. Freedom Friday. Hashtag Freedom Friday. Hashtag TBTV. That's what's up, guys. One more time, man. This is a big deal. It's a big deal for us. So, I would like people to be here. It's going to be a hot one tonight, Keith. It's going to be a hot one. Man, it's going to be hot. Well, first of all, it's been a great time. Let me tell you about this on the side of the screen. Let me go there first, okay? So, as you can see, I'm promoting something. It's over here. Over here. Over there. Over there. Okay, I'm promoting it over there. Check this out, guys. I need you to binge listen to the Tim Black Paul's podcast show this weekend. We need to get the numbers up on the Tim Black Paul's show because it's like sort of around our debut week, but not officially, but we're kind of kicking off the podcast. And what we're trying to do is rank our podcast. I don't know if you noticed it now, but the Pause broadcast, the Pause podcast, goodness gracious, the Pause podcast has been doing very well. And I'm getting a lot of traction with it. A lot of people are very excited about it. I'm excited to do it. It was a hunch I had that this space could use some very deliberate talk and a strong voice that could say it with his chest and lean into reparations, the Black agenda, and cover all issues defiantly, strongly, firmly, stand on it, and just be all about the black experience, and be very, very willing to take slings and arrows to be canceled or whatever happens. That's so necessary. So I want to encourage you to go this weekend. It's Big Talk, Real Talk, guys. I need you to go to timblackpauls.com. Go to timblackpauls.com and follow us. Now, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Like, we're pretty much on all the major podcast sites. So wherever you get podcasts from, you should find us. Not to mention, those sites are all free. So if you have to, download them. Download an app. It's really important, guys, that we get our numbers up. And look, and because I know your time is important, is valuable. If you write a review to the podcast, if you write a review, you rate it and write a review, we'll send you what we sent Keith Weston, which is a couple cut the check money wristbands. At least two, okay? Because one for you and one for a friend, or both for you, however you want to rock it. But I want you to know I appreciate you guys. And I try not to ask for too much, but this is important. This puts us up there. We want to rank on our podcast. We want to be up there with the big guys. Look, help me catch Rachel Maddow. Help me catch Rachel Maddow. She's like last time I checked, she had the 200th ranked podcast in America. Let me catch her. Let me get on the list. I've never won much of anything except the heart of Mrs. Black. You know what I'm saying? But look, check it out, guys. If help me get on this podcast list of top 200 so I can pass Rachel Maddow. And yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, I'm speaking a lot more truth to power than Rachel Maddow, right? Right? So let's make it happen. Let's show them that people power is more important than establishment power. That people power beats institutional power. That people power is what matters in this new day and age of people talking about social media, about us choosing what we want. So the Tim Black podcast, the Tim Black Pause podcast, and timblackpause.com is where you go to get that going on. So I look forward to hearing you, look forward to seeing you. Let them know what's up. Thank you. Enough. All right. I'll put this back on the screen later. Let's do this. Okay. So as you guys know, it's Friday. And Friday, as Keith Weston says, is an important day because people got stuff to do. And they're looking forward to their weekend. It's important around here, guys, if you're new to the show, because we open up phone lines on Tuesdays and Fridays. So the phone lines are open. Phone number's down here, 319-527-6212. Dial into that number if you want to talk tonight. What else we got? I'm checking this out. Are we there? We're there. We got some people. Good. We good. We live on Facebook. So I usually do a monologue, but I don't think we're going to get to a monologue tonight. Because I guess I'm going to have an extended rebuttal coming up about Dr. Umar Johnson. It's something that came to my attention that, look, has to be corrected. We gotta correct. We have to address things sometimes. So we're going to address Dr. Umar, but that came in late, frankly. What I'm going to do first, guys, Tim Black's Woodpack, all my Johnsons, all my Patreons, thank you for being here. People that support the show. Without you, there is no show. All that good stuff. Thanks for what you do. I like this. I like for us to get started here, though, guys. There's a black firefighter. Black firefighter, guys. And the way they did this system was dirty, okay? And that's all this came to my attention earlier in the week. I wanted to get to it. I said, you know what? I'm going to save it for Friday. And here we go. Let's check this out, guys. They got to do better, man. They got to do better. I don't know where that's at. Okay, so Latasha Clemens is the young lady on the left. She's a Florida City's first black female deputy fire chief. And they had a mural unveiled last year depicting her. So here's the thing about it. The bottom picture is the picture that they did the mural from. And as you can see, when they actually did the painting of the mural, they used a white person's face. Yeah, they used a white person's face. Now, this is horrible on a lot of levels. One, because that's an ugly ass mural. That's not cute. That's not the way to go. If you're on the podcast version of this on Apple Podcasts, let's let you know this is not, the mural is butt ugly, but okay. Now, Latasha Clemens, she sued him. Boynton Beach. She sued the city of Boynton Beach. And if you don't know what that is, that's 60 miles north of Miami, for defamation and negligence. Her depiction in the mural hung at a fire station and presented on June 3rd, 2020. It embarrassed her. It angered her, according to the Clemens lawsuit. Being depicted as white was not only a false presentation of Clemens, it was also a depiction which completely disrespected all that Clemens, the first female black firefighter for the city, had accomplished. Her determination, focus, and hard work, the lawsuit says. Here's the thing, guys. You get the first black female deputy, right? Deputy fire chief. It's no small thing. It's a great achievement. And you want to, I guess, once again, they want to show their diversity. They want to show that we are, this organization that, and obviously they gave it a job, right? So why were they not comfortable with her? If you give a person a job, I'm trying to wonder why would you then turn around? If you give a black person a job in a position, it's like a historic position, never been done before in your city, why would you not want to show that off? If you're afraid or if you don't want people to know, why give it a job, Johnson? That's all I'm saying. Like, what's the point? Why are you playing games, Johnson? I don't get it. So, Clemens said last year that she did not attend the mural dedication, but that shortly after the ceremony, she began to get flooded pictures, photos, and texts from friends and colleagues. I tell you, what's wrong with people? She said, I had to suppress my emotions, but after the event, a ton of emotions came over me. Growing up in the community where I grew up, you didn't see blacks, particularly black women in the fire department. Now, Clemens didn't just show up one day and they gave her this position. Clemens had been with them since 1996. 1996, guys. She rose through the ranks, and she was the first black woman in the department. So she steadily, instead of this being a story of achievements, a story of black person doing her thing, department breaking down barriers, they went and ruined it by being who they are. Yep. They went and ruined it by being who they are. So that's horrific. I don't get why they would do that. It's embarrassing. The mural, which was supposed to highlight the history of firefighters in the city, was also to have featured the image of Glenn Joseph, a black former fire chief. His face was also replaced by a white face. Jesus Christ, man, what is going on, man? This is, man, what's going on? I mean, damn, Johnson, they really don't want us around. They photoshopped not only one, but two of them out of the picture. Damn. Said no blacks allowed, Johnson, no blacks allowed. See this? I don't know. I don't know how to put this. Like, if that's not a sign that you need to go get another job, what is? But see, the problem is, folks, we can't always go get another job, can we? No, that's the problem, right? That we're not in a position all the time that you could just bounce. That you could just strike out on your own. That you have the resources. That you could just strike out on your own and just get mad, throw your hands up, and just walk away. No, she's been there since 1996. 24 years, right? Maybe 25 years, depending on when she started. That's a long time to be one place. Grant said the mural's change was meant to make people's faces unrecognizable, similar to how people are depicted on Google Maps. But he acknowledged that it was an unfortunate decision given Florida's history as a Confederate state, as well as the city's history of segregation involving Black and Caribbean populations dating back to the 20s. This guy, Grant, I don't know Grant's last name. Is it important? I don't know. Grant. Anyway, Grant must be the chief. I don't know who Grant is. Here's the deal, guys. Whoever you are, a white person who runs this, bullshit. Look, man. Unless you're going to use characters with no faces and no colors, it's kind of obvious you whitewashed this mural. Don't tell me one of the faces are unrecognizable. We don't need to know facial features to tell colors. And if we want to not have a problem, don't put any faces, don't put any colors. Put, I don't know, stickmen. No gender, no face color, no skin color, no religion, no orientation, nothing. Just, if that's what you're going for, right? Look, here's the thing, guys. There's a myriad of different things they could have done to avoid this problem. The reason why they didn't avoid those things, the reason why they didn't try to do something different, is because they just didn't give a damn. They just didn't care about her feelings, or the black man's feelings. The former black chief, former fire chief, a black former fire chief, whatever that is. Okay, so that's the deal. Okay. You just didn't give a damn. So all this extra rhetoric, save that. Cut the check. Had said cut the check. Just cut the check. You know, tell it to your mama. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the hand. Do whatever you want to do. You know? Go have beers and laugh about it, whatever. Get this lady her money. So she knows where she is. And no one's buying the excuse. Okay? No one's buying the excuse. All right, folks. My call-in number looks a little wacky. Get back over here. Okay. So, here we go, guys. We okay out there? Everybody okay? Things are about to get crazy. About to get crazy. What's up, Tim Blacks Wolfpack? How y'all doing, man? How's everybody, Johnson? Johnsons, how are you? How are you? I tell you. All right, so I'm on Twitter. I'm trying to get prepared for the show. I just had a show at 8:30 on Pause with Tim Black, so I just came off his show. And I was like, man, I'm tired, but I gotta get pumped up. I know, like, if I was a traveling performer or comedian, you had to do a couple sets a night, maybe like 3 a day. So I'm like, okay, but you know what? It's okay, because tonight I got phone calls, y'all. When I got phone calls, my people talk. I don't have to talk. I just open up the show, give a couple of news updates, and then I let my people talk and carry the rest of the show. And then I chime in. But I don't have to overwhelm. We're having a conversation. I don't need to go in. I already went in for over an hour, almost an hour and a half on the Pause show. So I'm not doing this for fun. And I'm not doing this because, I want controversy. Give me all the smoke. That's not what I'm doing this for, okay? I'm doing this because it was brought to my attention. And frankly, I wish I didn't have to do it, okay? I wish I didn't have to do it. Now, what am I talking about? I got a G-check Dr. Umar Johnson. Yeah, I got a G-check Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't want to have to G-check Dr. Umar Johnson. But Dr. Umar Johnson is talking out of school. He's talking out of school, and he is misleading my people. Dr. Umar Johnson, I walked away from the progressives. I came to kick it with black folks on black issues to help us get reparations and a black agenda. And I'll be damned if I don't walk over and hear you undermining all that work that we're trying to do, all the work that people have been doing since forever on this issue, all the organizations that have been working on it, all the people that, and not only that, not just the hard work, all my ancestors, who we are their offspring, who are looking down thinking we are owed this. And what do we got? We got Dr. Umar Johnson talking out of school, running off at the mouth and not making any sense about something that's very serious. Now, and I said to myself, I said, Tim Black, do you sure you want to go down this road? Because it's going to cause controversy. What if this becomes like a back and forth? It's not going to become a back and forth because he ain't going to have nothing to say when I'm done. So there's nothing to go back and forth about. He wrong, I'm right, in the story. My job is to enlighten him. But that still wasn't enough, Dr. Umar, because I'm like, that still ain't enough for me to do it. I mean, I could put out an article tomorrow. The reason why I'm doing it is because of this. I am not a hypocrite. I am not a hypocrite, Johnson. And if one of those progressives that I used to work with, I've been on their show, they've been on my show, if they would have said this shit that you said, I'd have had no hesitation to go in. So with that in mind, folks, here goes the clip of Dr. Umar Johnson being wrong for about 2 minutes straight. Nothing in this is right. Here it is.
Yes, we should get reparations. Yes, we are entitled to reparations, but we don't need them. We don't need them. We a $2 trillion economy. Why do we need reparations? Why?
Okay, I'm going to stop him there. Let's stop him right there. I was going to let him go. Then we got to remember what he said. And it's going to be so much to correct. So, Dr. Umar Johnson said, we deserve reparations. Why not just stop there? Like, why? That should be the end of the conversation. Now, it'd be better if you said we are owed reparations. Owed. That would be a better word, but I prefer owed. You use deserved. Fine. Schematics, ain't tripping. Synonyms. Okay. Because you deserve what you're owed. You're owed what you deserve. Okay. But why not end it there? Because now he's going to say, then he went right directly. So I'm wrong. Let me correct myself. You did say one thing that was correct. One thing you said that was correct, I'm going to give you total credit for this. And respectfully, I'm telling you sincerely, you're correct. We do deserve reparations. We do. Okay? Now, everything else you said is nonsense. Starting with the next sentence. You said, but why do we need them? We have a something $1 trillion economy. Black people don't have their own economy. No, America has an economy. We don't have a separate country. Not America. We share. This is a U.S. economy. See, you're operating in a fallacy like black people live on their own island. We don't live on our own island. If we lived on our own island, we might not, and had that been the case, we wouldn't be in America. We might not need reparations. But that's not the case. We live in America. America has an economy. And since black folks have generated such a huge amount of money, to the tune that some have estimated quadrillions worth of profit generated from slave labor that America has benefited from, and did not have to pay a single black slave any of that money. So you saying we have wealth, or we have all this wealth, and that don't have nothing to do with it. I'm not even going to argue about how much money we have. I'm not going to argue that black people got some money. That's good. We should have some money. We work hard as fuck. Black people are hard workers. So we should have money. Now, I'm gonna do something that you didn't do. I don't want to be too lengthy, but I got to do this. I'm gonna use some numbers and some facts because you didn't use any. My brother, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody could just talk. You know what I'm saying? Like just say shit. But it'd be better if you had some facts. So I want to reference this, okay? Turn to the book. Please, everyone, turn to the book.
Yes, we should get reparations. Yes.
Everyone, turn to the book of What We Get Wrong About Closing the Racial Wealth Gap. You can find this on ActifiedPress.com. It's written by William Sandy Darity Jr., Dr. Derek Hamilton. Let me repeat. By Dr. William Sandy Darity, Dr. Derek Hamilton. I'm assuming Dr. Mark Paul, Dr. Allen Ahad, Dr. Ann Price, Mr. Antonio Ward, Esquire, and Katarina Clopis. I don't know if they wrote this, but it's their document. Samuel Dubois, Cook Center on Social Equity, Insight Center for Community Economic Development, April 2018. This book, folks, is free for anyone. It's a PDF. We can all go download it. And it is chock full of information that is very helpful. And what it does, it goes point by point of all the things people say about the racial wealth gap and how to get things wrong, and it answers it with data and facts. So speaking directly to what Dr. Umar just said, that we have this money, we're going to be using this document to deal with Dr. Umar's claims. Now let's go back to Dr. Umar and let's let him keep talking.
Yes, we should get reparations. Yes, we are entitled to reparations, but we don't need them. We don't need them.
I gotta stop him again because that right there. That's his opinion. He said we don't need them. Dr. Umar Johnson. The average black family is worth 10% of the average white family. How dare you say we don't need money? That's owed to us. Like, you don't get to tell black people what they need. Like, if somebody owe me money, Dr. Umar, respectfully, my brother, let me decide if I think they should pay me. Oh, you're going to come up with some idea that lets them off the hook for owing me money? I thought you were an advocate for black folks. Why you want to let off the federal government for paying me the money that they owe me? They sure as hell wouldn't let me off the hook if I missed my taxes. What is you talking about? We don't need it. Hey, man, if you owe me $500, give me my $500. Just so happens, according to estimates, conservatively, they owe us, 17 trillion, 20 trillion? That's the low end. We could go higher in the quadrillions, numbers that don't, like your mind can't even wrap around how much we were worth and have been worth to this country without compensation. We were the currency of the day, sir. Your ancestors were the currency of the day, sir, for multiple generations. At least mine were. I'm assuming you're American descendants of slavery. You may not be. Which could be telling why you're on this side of this issue. But here we go. I hate to read this to you, but I'm gonna have to read it to you because it's too important. So bear with me, guys, just a little bit. Let's go through this. No, I'm sorry. Let me play him a little bit more. Because this gets lengthy. I want you to hear more because I was going to play the whole thing. Then I thought, let me interrupt him. Let me play a little bit more, Dr. Umar, before I do it.
Yes, we should get reparations. Yes, we are entitled to reparations, but we don't need them. We don't need them. We're a $2 trillion economy. Why do we need reparations? Why? Why? Why is that? Why is that? Huh? Did you ask for reparations to buy that weave? Did you ask for reparations to buy that perm? Did you ask for reparations to buy that Louis bag? Did you ask for reparations to get the Gucci bag? Did you ask for reparations for them Jordans? Did you ask for reparations for that big old truck you got? Did you?
See. Damn it, man. Dr. Umar sound like those Negroes that we need to retire, man. I'm sorry, man. You sound like the Negroes. We need to get rid of them, man. You sound like, those preachers that talk down to black people? Talk down to them like something wrong with black people for wanting to pay shoes? Whew. All people buy shoes, Dr. Umar. White women get their hair done. They do some stuff we don't do, like tan, like therapist, like masseuses. Like, we all talking about like getting pampered, right? So white women do things black women don't do. They may not go get a weave, but they go get tan and they go get, a lot more formal wear, that they probably wear because they're in a higher tax bracket. They may have to go those places. They probably go on more vacations. What is it with, it sounds like Obama-esque, where you talk down to black people and make it seem like something's their fault. This is laughable. Listen, Maury Gittleman and Edward Wolf, using data from the panel study on income dynamics, PSID, tracked the financial position of black folks and white folks, black families and white families, and found that once income is controlled, if anything, black families actually have a slightly higher savings rate than their white counterparts. Dr. Umar likes to repeat himself. Let me repeat myself. Let me say that again. According to a recent study, or a study conducted by Maury Gittleman and Edward Wolf, using data from a panel study on income dynamics, PSID, tracked the financial position of black families and white families, and found that once income is controlled, because we're talking about percentages of spent money that you have. Not how much money you have, but how much of the percentage of the money that you spend of your total amount. We found that black families actually save slightly higher amounts or save at a slightly higher rate than their white counterparts, which contradicts everything you just said. And it's easy to be contradicted for you to make a bad statement when you're not reading any data or any facts. You're just talking, and you're talking down to black people. Now, this is all in this PDF I was telling you about, that the professors, economic stratification, Dr. Dirk Hamilton, and economists, also Dr. Sandy Dirty, that are outlined in this report. Here we go. The mild savings rate advantage is indicative of even a greater thriftiness amongst blacks, since they typically have more kin obligations to assist low-income relatives, which further reduces the ability to save. So since we are black, Dr. Umar, we typically have more obligations to our poor friends, our poor siblings, our family members who need our help. That's because of our position. Remember what I told you? The average black family is worth about 10% of the average white family because of the racial wealth gap that black people have compared to white folks. That's the reason why we need reparations, because we will never catch up, Dr. Umar. Now, if your job or what you're pushing for is not for us to ever actually catch up to white folks and be equal to them financially, if that's not your agenda, then maybe what you're saying doesn't make sense, but I can see your point. But see, that's my agenda. I would hope that you want us to have equality, not just for us to continue to flounder. So the reason why we're in this condition where black folks have to help poor friends and poor relatives is because we were poorer because of segregation, Jim Crow, discrimination, redlining, a litany of mass incarceration, over-incarceration, eminent domain, taking our land, you name it, they've done it to us. The government has done this to us. No fair deal, no New Deal, no GI Bill, just a raw deal. You understand what I'm saying? So if we are ever to get our money right, reparations is needed. It goes on to say, if anything, it appears that blacks generally live more frugal lives than whites. So who you really should be talking to, Dr. Umar, this is going to trip you out, because I know you don't like this. But you really should be going to talk to white folks, because white folks really spend a lot of money that they don't have. They really do. That's what they do because they have more expendable income. A study conducted by the Institute of Assets and Social Policy using a 2013 survey of consumer finances found that at comparable levels of income, whites spend 1.3 times more than blacks. You can look this up. This is all, this is not my opinion. Like it is what it is. It's like 2 + 2 is 4. But it goes on to say, it says nonetheless, the conventional wisdom has it that blacks in search of immediate gratification lack self-control. Sort of like the way you talk. And are plagued uniquely by a culture of frivolous consumerism. Wow, I think a lot of people buy it too because they keep hearing people like you say it over and over that black people don't know how to handle their money. It's not about you handling your money. It's about the amount of money you have to handle. You got $2. You ain't making it rain. You can save $1 if you want. It says the myth was magnified that we're frugal with money by Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Ronald Reagan used the welfare queen trope during his campaign and recently via internet financial gurus pushing images of black Americans spending on Jordan brand Nike shoes. And you just say something about shoes? Dr. Umar, I think you may have inspired this writer. It sounds like he's talking to you or talking about you. Like, did you say this before? Because he's saying exactly the stuff you're saying that people, it says, the belief was magnified by Ronald Reagan's use of the welfare queen trope during his campaign and recently via internet financial gurus pushing images of black Americans spending money on Jordan brand Nike shoes rather than household needs. Yet, the empirical evidence indicates that it has not been the case historically. Nor is it the case today that blacks are more financially wasteful than whites. In addition to Gittleman and Wolf, the 2004 study earlier cited, economists ranging from arch-conservative Milton Friedman to Marjorie Gallinson to Marcus Alexis, a founder of the Caucus of Black Economists, they all found that black folks have a slightly higher savings rate than white. So, Dr. Umar, I know what you said, but you don't know what you're talking about, and it's evident if you read Economist. And I'm only correcting you because you're wrong, and I think it's detrimental that black people walk around thinking that you are correct when you are not correct. You're totally incorrect. Now, we're going to come back to that study because we got another study we can talk about. There was a piece written by a sister, Sincerely Michelle. It's by Michelle Singletary. Now, this was published in the Washington Post, okay? And this was earlier this year, like a year ago, 2020, November 2020, okay? And she goes on to say, it's a misconception that black people would be wealthier if they just did not spend so much on clothes, sneakers, and cars. Like so many other misrepresentations, when it comes to black people and how they spend and save, stereotypes supplant substantive analysis. So what she's saying here is that, Dr. Umar, you are perpetuating a stereotype. And I wonder why you want to do that. Here goes some numbers. Because white families had the highest level of median and mean family wealth, $188,200. And $983,000, $983,400. Now, those numbers, Dr. Umar, those come from the Federal Reserve, 2019. The Survey of Consumer Finances. Black families, median and mean wealth is less than 15% than that of white families. So she placed it a little higher. Okay? A little bit higher than the previous report. But when you look at we compare black families and white families to wealth, it's such a vast difference. It has nothing to do with shoes or clothes. According to we look at the expenditures, how much we spend. Black households spend an average of $639 on footwear in 2019, compared with $419 for all households. Now that's according to the Labor Department's 2019 Consumer Expenditure Survey. When it comes to women's and girls' clothing, black households spent $784 compared with a national average of $704. Dr. Umar, I'm sorry, sir, but the difference is $150 per household. Reparations, sir, as I stated before, a conservative number puts us in the high teens, maybe 20 trillion. If we add $200 to that, that's like giving a whale a Tic Tac. That's not going to work. So let's listen to some more Dr. Umar. I don't want to monopolize the conversation. Let's listen to Dr. Umar be wrong some more, then we'll come back to what I was talking about.
Yes, we should get reparations. Yes, we that Louis bag. Did you ask for reparations to get the Gucci bag? Did you ask for reparations for them Jordans? Did you ask for reparations for that big old truck you got? Did you ask for reparations for that big house in the suburbs? Did you ask for reparations before you put your black kid in a white private school? Did you ask for reparations for any of the Negro things you do on a daily basis? I have never seen you ask for reparations to buy or pay for none of the shit you like to do.
Wow, man. That's pretty bad, yo. That's pretty bad. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I got to say, on the commentary side, I don't know, maybe I should save it. Let me just say this. It's amazing how you think that black people should not enjoy their lives. Latinos enjoy their lives. At least they try to, right? Asians try to enjoy their lives. White people try to enjoy their lives. Everyone wants to enjoy their lives. We're only here for a short amount of time, Dr. Umar. Why are you berating black people for enjoying their time on this planet? And what does that have to do with reparations? And why are you suggesting people want reparations to go buy purses? As if every black person is buying a Gucci purse. What kind of drug dealers are you hanging out with? Who are the people that are going to buy Gucci purses who like, I need reparations so I can go buy a purse? But why are you pocket watching what black people do with their money when we don't even have money? Pocket watch some white folks. They got the money. Go pocket watch them. And why aren't you advocating for us getting the money or getting our debt paid so that we could afford nice things like other people have? Why should we not afford nice things? Why is it that let's take your premise. If we even accept your premise, which I do not, I flatly reject it. I call it nonsensical. But if I had to say, if we wanted to play devil's advocate and say, you make sense when you don't, why is it that black people are in this condition? It's the same thing I like to ask callers. Why? It's a good answer. I mean, that's a good way to start the conversation. Why is it that black people need reparations? Why would they ask for reparations? I mean, I know the answer to it. So does so does Sean Rochester, an economist who wrote this great book called The Black Tax. He calls it the 2% rule. Now, this book is very quick, very small, very short, but it's full of information about how black people got to the condition that we are at. If you go to page 89, research shows that black Americans were often restricted to 2% levels or less in many vitally important aspects of the economy, politics, and society at large. These places that we were restricted from are these areas are the direct areas where you accumulate wealth. It's not the shoes, it's not the hair, it's not Netflix, brother. We ain't the only ones with a Netflix account. Netflix would be out of business if they had to just count on us. We ain't the only ones with an iPhone. We ain't the only ones that watch that Mike Tyson fight. Okay? So, here we go. Black Americans were emancipated but not denied land, capital, credit, fair wages, means of production, skills development, and free trade, all of which were far below the 2% level. Black folks have held less than 2% of U.S. wealth for 350 years. They've owned less than 2% of U.S. land for 400 years. Currently, we're at 1%. You can't buy land with Jordan shoe money. You need reparations to buy land. If we would have had reparations, maybe we would have land. If land was not stolen from us via eminent domain by the government or by being terrorized by white terrorists known as the KKK, we would have fled our land. You understand? So we're in this predicament now because of something we did, and it just really bothers me that you would make that claim. Let me keep going now. We've held less than 2% of almost all high-skilled, high-paying jobs in all industries for 150 years after emancipation. So for 150 years, we were locked out, effectively locked out. Not everyone, but effectively in adequate numbers. In numbers to change the bottom line, we were knocked out of these high-skilled jobs that paid major money. You know, like CEO, COO, CTO, and C3PO. they received less than 2% of the 246 million acres distributed to 1.5 million Americans via the Homestead Act of 1862, which I've covered on this show. You should watch the Tim Black show. You should watch Pause with Tim Black. We'd be great together. You should watch this. You'll learn this stuff, man. I'm going to keep going because this is not for Dr. Umar. He'll probably not see this video. This is for people that listen to Dr. Umar who are going to see the title of this and be like, what do you say about Dr. Umar? You're going to be like, oh, okay. I want you to be educated about the condition of black folks so that you understand we don't need reparations to go buy shoes. We don't want reparations to take trips. Reparations is a debt owed. And that's why these numbers exist. And the reason that these numbers exist are the reason why we need reparations. That it's a circular situation. We receive less than 2% of the $120 billion distributed to Americans via federal housing subsidies. Do you hear me, Dr. Umar and friends? There was $120 billion distributed via the FHA. We didn't get it. Somebody got it. It wasn't us. That's a problem. Now I'm starting to get angry because this is not a thick book. And all that Sean Rochester did was curate facts. He didn't generate the facts themselves. He didn't conduct the studies. He curated the facts. Meaning, people like Dr. Umar Johnson, if they wanted to know the facts, they could look them up and write their own book. You, as a professor, should be held to a higher standard, sir. It's like I'm talking to a bigoted progressive or a bigoted conservative who doesn't know what they're talking about, who's shitting on black people, and I don't like it. Hell is wrong with you, man? Black folks receive less than 2% of the $95 billion distributed to Americans via the GI Bill. Less than 2%. Black folks went, put their lives on the line, and then got stiffed on the GI Bill. And then you say, we need to stop buying hair. No, well, why are you afraid to challenge the establishment? Should I stop? Why are you afraid to challenge the establishment on behalf of black people? Who got to you? Why would you make such a claim? Well, if I had not been paying attention, is this your usual rhetoric that you talk down on reparations for brothers and sisters, for black descendants of slaves? You talk down on us about getting what my Jewish brothers and sisters got, for getting what my Japanese brothers and sisters got. You talk down on us for getting what's owed to us? Why would you do that? Why do you want to open a school to educate black kids and then just have them be too poor when they get out? Do you realize that black people are 13% of the population, but half the homeless population? And you're asking us, why do we need reparations? What black people do you hang around? Are you hobnobbing in circles of black people that got it like that? The average black person does not have it like that, Dr. Umar Johnson. What black people are you kicking it with? Have you been doing it so long that you've attained a certain level of pseudo-celebrity that affords you the ability to look down your nose or to pretend that poor black people don't exist? Well, respectfully, sir, for all those poor black people, I like to say, what up? Get your shit right. You off code. Now, I know some people won't say that to you, but I say it to you because it's true. I don't revel in it. That's something I intended to do today. Tell Dr. Umar he don't know what he's talking about, but you don't, and you should learn. This is shameful, bro, for real. This is shameful. Black folks receive less than 2% of the $50 billion distributed to Americans via the New Deal. Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but the New Deal came out like 51, 40, 50, like 50, 49, 50. You know how much $50 billion was worth then? They receive less than 2% of the 50. Okay, we got that. Black Americans need reparations. Why? Because we receive less than 2% of agricultural subsidies. Payments distributed to American farmers. Less than 2%. Less than 2% of adult black population was allotted or allowed to attain college degrees as of 1950. I'm going to leave it there. Dr. Umar says a little bit more, guys, but I'm not going to play it. He just continued to berate black people and blame them for their own condition. Blame it on stuff like hairdos and shoes and things we do and that Negroes do. I'm here to tell you, Dr. Umar, that shit don't work no more, man. It just doesn't. Maybe it'll work with your people until they start listening to me. Because it is a fallacy. It is nonsense. And it does not help us get where we need to go. We should be collecting our debt. Now, I understand you may think this is a hard struggle. Yes, I agree. But that does not mean we don't fight for it. You understand what I'm saying? But even if you think that reparations may not come, so we need to do this and do that, brother, that still does not justify the berating of nonsense, making nonsense points that are factually incorrect. Black people do not overspend. We're underfinanced. And still, somehow we came up with a way to fund you. I'm going to be respectful. Though I don't think you were being very respectful to us, but I guess that's the way that you normally talk to black folks. Black folks, why you allow this man to talk to you like this? I mean, maybe it applies to some people that they feel that they need a lecturing to. Not about this. Black people did not create this situation. I would have commented if you hadn't brought in reparations. You comparing apples to pizzas. They got no relation to each other at all. Unless you're talking pineapples. And if that's the case, I hate pineapples. So that don't count either. And this ain't Hawaii. So motherfucker, respectfully, let's get our rhetoric correct. I guess maybe you've been allowed to talk this way because ain't nobody talking back to you. I don't know what it is. But this is horrible, man. I hope you do better, Dr. Umar. Respectfully, guy, get your shit together. Black folks ain't poor because black folks don't know how to handle their money. Black folks are poor because America fucked us. That's why we're poor, okay? It ain't because we mishandling. You can do all the juggling you can do. Black people are very thrifty. Look up the information I gave you. Folks, please seek out the resource, the sources of my information. I didn't just talk to you. I'm quoting from documentation. You can also go look up yourselves. Actify Press, Drs. Derek Hamilton, Dr. Sandy Dirty, they both appeared on the Tim Black Show because we talked to professors who are knowledgeable in their given expertise. Dr. Umar is a psychologist or psychotherapist or something, right? A teacher or something, I don't know. But this is not your area. And I respect, your lane, sir. It's less traffic. All right, guys, that's it. Let's go back to the show. Phone lines are open. I'll be right back after this break. Remember, guys, this weekend, binge watch the Tim Black, binge listen to the podcast, the Tim Black Pause Podcast. And we'll be back in 2 minutes. A lot of times I'm watching like news, or when I'm watching shows in general, they're written by white people. Even when the talent's black, the writers are white. Even when the writers are black and the talent's black, the owners are white. And even when the talent is black and the story is black, the subject matter is black, bleeding, black, black, black. For some strange reason, the most vocal writer is white. And I mean very, very white. And even when the writers are black and the talent is black and the owners are black, those three entities are worried about what white people are gonna say. So, you never really get to hear black people express themselves freely. Really free. And I said, damn, man. TV been lying to me all this time. So the point is, they lie to us too. Not just to us, about us, they lie to us about white people. And white people, they lie to you about black people. And they lie to all of us through the use of Hollywood, through the use of stories, and just plain old fibbery. Okay? So that's all it is. Reason why I tell you, the Tim Black Pause Show, Pause with Tim Black, is where we get to be really black. That's because we don't have to cater to white execs. We don't have to get the approval of white managers and directors. No. We don't have to appease white people. We do it ourselves. Because they don't own it. They don't fucking own it. They don't want you to hear the truth. Get the realest black podcast. Go to timblackpause.com.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
All right now, okay. Good enough. There we go. I like that kick. All right. I couldn't hear before I didn't have the headphones in. It's nice. Okay, so we're back like magic. Back like magic to the show. All right, so let's go to first call in the queue. We got calls in the queue. All right, 562, you are live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comments?
Hey, what's up, Tim Black? Hey, this your boy Umar from California. Hey, I'm real quick because I'm really just kind of listening. Just wanted to say, since I held on for so long, thank you for what you do. Peace to your family, Mrs. Black, and to your sons. Peace, Wolfpack. Reparations now, and you can skip me on, bro. I'm gonna stay on listening. Peace.
That's what's up, Marv. Get up for my brother Marv. Marv from Cali. Marv from Cali with the bass in the boy. Yeah, brother. Yeah. What a night, Johnson. What a night. Let's go, Johnson. Okay. Got another look. So that was Marvin. I don't know who this is, but this is familiar as well. 310, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment? 310. Well, maybe not. It look familiar. That's what I get. We can't hear you, 310. Maybe you're not there. Okay. Well, maybe not, guys. Hey, I've been wrong before. It happens. Let's go. Let's move, keep it moving there. 240, you're alive. 240, what's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hi, Tim. This is Stephanie. And I want to just say that I think the only thing that's going to pull this country out of a tailspin that I think it's in is increasing Black political and economic power. Because I think the Black community is the only community that sees the United States for what it is. With that said, I want to bear witness on a couple of things that your comments brought up for me that are very immediate and experiences I've had in the workplace in the last several years. The first one is I want to back you up on what you're saying. Black people do everything right in a lot of cases. I mean, Black women in particular, they're the most educated group in the United States. They have the most advanced degrees of any group. And I just got laid off from my job of 8 years. And one of the things that's been going on there in the last year is I hired a Black PhD, and I was fighting to get her a salary that was just slightly above what a white MPH had been hired at only a couple months before. And the CEO knocked the salary down to below what the white MPH had been given. Now the CEO is an Asian female. And basically ever since the Black PhD, I should say, has been working for me, several times I've advocated to get her an increase and haven't been successful, and it just turned into this giant power struggle. I mean, you've got a woman with 10 years work experience and a PhD who's done everything exactly what she's supposed to do. Fabulous clients, love her, amazing. And a girl fresh out of college with a master's degree, 23, not saying a bad thing about her. She's very bright, and I also helped hire her, but is making more money. Why? I don't know why. There's no good reason why. And I can't help but wonder, and I'm talking to a lawyer about it, if some of why I'm laid off, although the company's had a bad year too, doesn't have to do with me speaking up about that multiple times. The other thing I want to say, and it's another thing that I've learned being inside this 8A company, there is, you probably know because I know you were a contractor too, a government program called the 8A program that is supposed to help minority and disadvantaged businesses get ahead. And a significant percentage of money the federal government gives out in contracts is set aside to be awarded to people with 8A status. De facto, you don't have to prove anything else. You're assumed to be disadvantaged if you are Black, which is good, or Asian American. So you can come from India and come from people with money and be Brahmin and have been sent to school, but just because you're Indian, you qualify automatically. And of course, if you're Chinese, you do too. If you're American Indian, if you're Native American and your company's Native American, you qualify forever for the 8A program. But other groups, they phase out. Like you get into it and you get out of it in 10 years, but you can make you can really build a healthy company in that time because there's a lot of contracts set aside. African Americans do not get any benefit above Indian immigrants, Chinese immigrants, even though African Americans have historically been discriminated against. You might argue that Native Americans who were slaughtered en masse when Europeans founded this country deserve to have this permanent 8A status. But why are African Americans as a group considered equal to somebody wealthy from India who comes here, who gets this? So, and it just makes me mad. It makes me really mad. And I want to also, say your community. If there's anything I can do to help anybody, just I want more African Americans to be educated about this 8A program. I want to see, when I look at the CEOs of these companies, it is, it's not enough. It's not the majority, and it really should be. So that's what I wanted to say.
Wow, give it up for my caller. Sister, email me at clientcare@10blacktv.com. I'd like to continue this conversation. It's an important conversation. Give it up for my caller, y'all. This is great. This is very important. People need to hear this. People need to hear this. One more time. That is clientcare@10blacktv.com. I am familiar with the 8A certification process, as I was a government contractor. It's all the way up. Mrs. Black said the volume is on their phones. Equalize your audio. It's up as high as it'll go, Johnson. Can't go no higher. It depends on the caller's phone. Nah, it's not me. It's not me. Yeah, that's as high as it'll go. Of course, my mic is louder, but it's going to be louder than a phone call. But thank you, Mrs. Black. She left. Did you? Something she made me think about that I hadn't considered. And something we should check out. She said she went to bat for this sister. I don't know if she said it was a man or a female. It doesn't matter. I think she said it was a female, though. PhD, right? And she kept pushing the issue that this PhD deserved this higher rate. And instead of paying them the higher rate, they paid them less than the person with the master's or the bachelor's or whatever it was. For all we know, that could happen to us several times. I mean, I'm assuming she told this person, I tried to push for you. But she may not have. And it would be anecdotal, regardless, right? These systems. The other thing that's telling, guys, is, as she pointed out in the story, this was not white folks. I did a video recently about this. Is it? No. Everyone says the phone volume is low. I can't make it louder, y'all. I'm not making it any louder. Hello. I don't think there's any way. I mean, it's up as far as it'll go. Maybe, hold on, let me see something. Hold on, guys. I'll try this. Maybe my phone needs to be up a little louder. We'll find out, guys. Don't worry, I'm going to put that great clip out on this song. Let me go to the next call, guys. I don't know why that was low. Maybe it was low because I need to boost it a little bit more. This was an important phone call. I don't know what we do with this information. But, well, actually I do, guys. Actually I do. Hold tight. 916, hold tight, guys. Now, this is something I was saving for a Pause with Tim Black show. But I got one more caller on the phone. And I want to talk about it. And I don't want to rush my caller. So caller, hang tight. Even sometimes, conventional wisdom would tell you it's not good to talk about things you may not necessarily be able to change. Conventional wisdom may tell you it's not good to go over concepts or situations for black folks, things you can't change. How does it help me that I got a call that calls up and says, hey, I try to get this black man more money or this black woman, PhD, more money, and they would not allow me to do it. They would not give her more money. And this was not a black company. This was a woman-owned, HA, minority-owned company. How does that help you? It helps you because you need to know the truth. And when I say that, I don't mean just knowing the truth to know the truth. To walk around, I know the truth. I know the truth. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You need to know it so that you do not beat yourself up. So that you give yourself a break. So that you as a black man or a black woman striving to get ahead, working to get ahead, so that you do not turn on yourself or turn on your spouse or turn on your kids. See, in this system, it once upon a time when racism was a little more blatant, when they would have a sign, no niggas, no blacks, no coloreds. You can't blame your wife for that. Nor can you blame yourself going, if I just was better. If I only dressed better, like Dr. Umar was talking about with the shoes. If I just looked better. If I just got myself together. Why? I need to present myself in a better way. See, black folks go through this stress of trying to measure up to this unmeasurable thing because in some instances, I'm not saying all, but in a significant number of instances, it has nothing to do with your qualification system. You are bad, you are fierce, you are smart, you are just as good, if not better, than the competition. Bruh, it's not because you don't speak the King's English well enough. It's half of these people getting jobs above you don't even speak good English. They got accents so heavy, you can't even understand them. It's not because you don't have the right tie or the right suit. It's because you're not the right color. And saying that, it's painful. It's hard to accept. You don't want to hear it, but you got to hear it because if not, you unconsciously will blame yourself. Think there's more that you need to do. More that you need to work. Maybe you need to put in 20 more hours. Maybe you need to go get another degree. You go pile on more debt. Or even worse, maybe you get so angry with your situation, you look at your wife and you look at your wife and you blame her. We can't get ahead. Why can't we get ahead? It's not her. Ladies, don't look at him. It's not him. It's the system. And that's why it's important for us to know it. And that's why we have to call out people like Dr. Umar Johnson. Because he's telling you lies that don't apply and they are detrimental to the psyche of black folks. Black people do not need to walk around thinking something is wrong with them, that they don't measure up, that they need to save if you just save more money. This is a lie to let white supremacists and the U.S. government off the hook. You save as much, if not more, than white people. Immigrants come over and get the same status, and they're not as discriminated against as you. Just because they are minorities. It's a certain type of tax being black, not a certain type of tax being Chinese or Korean. There is not the same level of tax. When immigrants first enter the country, they pay a price. They pay a price, a toll. And then you know what that happens? They ascend past black people. They step over us and keep it moving. And my caller is so right. You can come from another country just because you are not a white person. You're an immigrant coming from another country, even a brown country. Does that mean you are broke? Just because you came to America, does that mean you are poor? Most of the people that come to America are not poor. So it's important. It's so important for our mental health. Dr. Derek Hamilton was on my show. We talked about this briefly. I'm actually looking for a therapist so I can do this topic justice, because this is not enough. I'm going to bring on a psychiatrist or a psychologist to discuss this at length, because I think it's important. Because I know when I was in business field, when I was working these government contractors in D.C., I wanted to know what it was. See, Dr. Umar and so many other people, man, listen, you get the fancy clothes to try to measure up because you can't figure out why you're not measuring up. Or you know you have less, you don't want the rest of the world to know it. I didn't even read you the part where a lot of white folks have inherited wealth. They didn't do anything. Their parents did, and their parents were able to, and yours weren't. End of story. But to bring that up and to make that be a focus And it's an important part because even if we can't change it tomorrow, you need to know it so that you don't hold it against you. You also need to know that your children had it harder now than you had it. I said your children have it harder than you had it coming up. The job market's different. Once upon a time, you'd be just fine with a high school diploma. And if you had some college, things are tighter. To get a job, a good paying job is harder. The market is tighter. Millennials are at home. We wasn't at home at 30. I left home at 17. And I'm still here. So what I'm saying is we need to have these conversations. This is important. And we need to have callers call up and educate the masses because people need to know. But no, just knowing is not a currency. I know one person think it's just good to know shit. No, man, we have a finite amount of space in our head. I don't want you just current about knowledge that you can't do nothing with. This ain't Jeopardy. You need to know this. You need to know these things so that you don't take it out on you. So that you don't work yourself to death. Dr. Dirk Hamilton said, black professionals with masters and PhDs have a higher stress level than people with black folks with high school diplomas. And some of them are dying before the folks with the high school diplomas because they are stressed out trying to keep up with their counters, their white colleagues, and their immigrant colleagues. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had an amazing caller phone up to the show last week and talked about he had a couple $1 million socked away, and now he's retiring. And he told me how he had that money through land. And then he also told me, I have the least amount of wealth of all my friends. And I got a feeling all his friends are not black. So when we talk about reparations, we talk about a black agenda, it's a reason. No GI Bill. No GI Bill. Discrimination from FHA loans. No New Deal. 2% of the GI Bill. All right. I'm going to go to the next call, guys. Thank you for holding on. 916, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
How you doing, brother? This is Information Man from California, brother. I've been sitting back listening to what you're saying. I want to say thank you for saying what you had to say tonight about Umar in particular, but in general, overall, that we do need to know. We need to wake ourselves up. And part of having information, because I always say information is power, is being able to demonstrate that by conveying that message to others and enlightening others of what's going on. So the first step in getting our asses up to do something is being aware of what the facts are versus the bullshit. Now, Umar Johnson said up there, and I know a lot about Umar Johnson, by the way. I've done some videos about him. He's been exposed. He's been at this school situation since 2009, not very transparent with the money that he has taken in. And when he's not getting money from black people that are donating money to him through Cash App, and he's not getting the money that he wants, he gets angry and he does the usual thing, which is to turn his anger against his own people who he claims he's trying to serve. So he'll say he wants to build a school, but yet he'll shame black people if they didn't give him enough money for this or enough money for that. Or when people ask him, hey, why is it taking 10, 13, 12 years? What are you doing? What's doing the money? And he won't tell you anything, but yet he'll get on his social media and try to talk to us about we don't need reparations. Who made him God and who died and made him God to say what we need and what we don't need? When you broke it down, the history, the data shows that black people do not have generational wealth. That was taken from us because we were put in a condition, a system, as you spoke of, that held us back. Now, I'm going to quote something from my dear brother, my man Madison. Joe Madison always says that in America, we are taught or culturally conditioned to see white as superior and black as inferior. And as a manifestation of that cultural conditioning, we will underestimate, undervalue, and marginalize black people. Will be marginalized by white society. And then we as black people internalize that and do it to each other. That's why, for example, the sister, and I read that story, who was a first firewoman in that area, that state, that particular city, they depicted the mural of a white woman and not her because they wanted to marginalize the accomplishments of this black woman and what that would mean for history. On the other hand, Umar does the same thing on the black side while marginalizing and underestimating black people by saying what we don't need and that we have this large economy. The United States has the economy. We don't have any economy. Yes, we consume, but as you said, brother, white people consume more goods and services than we do, and yet they still maintain long-term generational wealth. At the end of the day, we need to convey the message and get our asses moving forward. We must educate, not miseducate people, and that's what Dr. Umar Johnson did, is that he miseducated when we need to be educating, like you just did tonight with the documents, the receipts, the what have you, to make us aware so that we can get out here and do something about it. I think we got to do something about it, and it starts with us as individuals, getting involved in programs, seeking out people that are helping our youth, our community out with job skills, financial skills. I would say financial literacy is important for us to understand how our money works, and I'll end there with that statement. But truth is truth and bullshit is bullshit. And Umar Johnson was speaking pure bullshit, and you were speaking pure truth. So you're going to probably get some haters that'll probably hate on what you said tonight, but that's what happens when you have to bring truth and facts to the table, my brother. Thank you. This is the Information Man, and I'm out.
My brother, Information Man, put it down. Listen to that. Listen to that, brother. Wow. That's I can't argue. I don't want to argue either, honestly, brother. Yeah, man, isn't that something? Information Man, great call, brother. Great call. That's something, brother. See, I've been over here on this left side doing my thing, right? And I didn't know the brother rolled like that. So this is standard for him. I'm thinking, what is this? I gotta jump on this. And Information Man's like, he always talk like that. That's crazy. That's crazy, Umar. He always sound like that. Solomon play the biscuits by the door. He'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Him crazy. We don't leave him around the kids. Is that what you're trying to tell me, man? See, I'm telling you, Information Man, they're not ready for me. No, they're not ready for me, brother. Because Umar's not the only one with some bass in their voice. And it's not going to be good for him. I hope he gets it correct. I hope this is not the case, that this is just a ploy for him to shame black people and giving him money. You know you got some money. I know you got $10. I know you got $10. Nah, really, well, I know you got. Let me pat you down. He be Debo-ing my brothers and sisters. Huh? Patting their pockets like Debo did, was it Craig? Or was it Chris? Patting his pockets like, what the hell does this do? That's what you do. Nah, brother, we can't have this. We can't have this. That's loser. That's loser shit. We can't do that, man. All right, I'm going to go to my next call, man. We got to do better. Look, wrong is wrong. Okay, that's all it is, man. I'm going to go to my call at 630. I'm sorry, guys, about the phone line not being loud. I think it's louder now. 630, you are live. What is your name? What is your comment?
Hello, Tim. This is Carlos. I've called before. It's been a while, but I'm glad to be speaking with you tonight. I wanted to just comment on one of your callers talking about the she was talking about how she couldn't get that lady the raise as far as her pay and her qualifications. And full disclosure, I'm in an interracial marriage, but I've experienced several similar things. One being me and my wife purchasing a home. I've learned that, and we live in a mostly white area. I learned that going through these areas, I had to disassociate myself to be more, it's a heightened, it's a seller's market per se. And to even be, considered for some of these homes, we lost out on a lot of homes. We couldn't understand. She's a nurse. I own my own business. And we had the money. It's not the issue. So, but when I kind of put the two and two together and she couldn't understand this, I just kind of pushed her out as the face of the operation. And, I stayed back. And lo and behold, when we figured that out, we got a home. So,
yeah, brother.
So this,
yeah.
It's a benefit to me.
Yeah.
But,
Carlos, can I ask, man, are you black and she's Caucasian?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I get it, man. I get it, Carlos. Yeah. I've covered stories of this.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want
I was just saying that I've covered stories about this, but it was about those appraisals. And I know you've seen the coverage of appraisals where people, black folks are trying to get their homes. They got to have friends, their white friends, come in and sit, and take pictures off the wall and what have you.
Yeah. And now that it was eye-opening for her, it was kind of heartbreaking for me, but it worked out for our benefit. But yeah, just that caller stuck out to me, and it just, I appreciate what you're doing here and bringing attention to those situations. Another reason why I called, this has been a major week in black news, with Kyrie Irving and Meek Mill. And I just want to make a few comments on those, and I'll let you continue on. My first comment about the Kyrie Irving, man, I don't know about, your feelings about vaccinations or whatnot. My wife's in healthcare, so it doesn't really matter what I think or what anybody else thinks. I believe in choice.
Right.
And how it's just crazy how these media outlets have just used him as a pinata. I mean, and they don't really focus on, if African Americans to what these numbers are 13% of the American population, if you want to say. And they want to just continue to use black images to make them and demonize them and make them and shame them. Whereas if you look at the numbers, only 60% of Americans vaccinated. So, if you take us into consideration, that's a huge number of people that aren't African American that they can be addressing, but they use the black image to continue to demonize or make them seem less educated or less, so that's just bothered me in that sense. And I'm really proud where he's sticking up for himself. Now, whether you believe in it or not, and I'm not saying he's doing the right thing or he's not, I respect him for just putting his money where his mouth is. He's willing to risk his money. To me, he's more like if you think about it, like Muhammad Ali. He in the Vietnam War, he didn't go. That was, and then at that time, you think about it, we're in war. It was kind of the same thing as now. You must do it. You gotta go. It was a mandate. And he stuck to his guns. And he was killed for it. He was demonized for it now. But then later in his career, he was considered a hero. So sometimes we got to take a step back and look at things, as a whole instead of just in the moment. I know this is a serious situation. I know people have lost their lives. I know many people have been affected. But I don't like how, because I start my day listening to sports media, sometimes, and just how they've all just, with no objectivity, just, he's an idiot, he's a fool, he's a buffoon, and just like, come on, you know. I'll move off that subject. The next subject is the Meek Mill situation. Him plastering his album cover on buses and billboards across the country. I feel like sometimes our government parties can use entertainers as distractions. As you can see, our current administration, who's in there as the president, is not doing too well. So to get attention off of himself, I think sometimes they call in their let's do something to get the media friends. Let's do something wild to get the attention off of us. Because I find it hard to believe that public transportation did not see this image and say no. Billboards did not say, man, we can't do this. But yet it still was plastered on buses and billboards across the country in major cities. So I feel like as if this was kind of a ploy to take the attention off of jobs, people quitting, so the forced mandate, inflation. We have this issue with the shortage of goods. I think it's going really bad for the current administration, and they just called in a favor to do something and again use the black image to make it, to get it off of what we're currently thinking of. Because if you think about it, who's Meek Mill in the grand scheme of things in this? But his name is being brought up in this country as a major topic at the moment. And that's all I got to say.
Wow. Well, look, man, I appreciate the call, Carlos. It was very informative. Give it up for my caller, y'all. Give it up for my caller. Wow. Now, look, brother, Carlos, I just covered the Meek Mill situation. I covered it on my Pause show at 8:30 today. So, but I did not know that was his album cover. And then it's on bus murals. I just commented about it being on his tour bus. My opinion still stands. Take that shit down. I went in much deeper than that, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something I'm a little paranoid discussing the Kyrie Irving situation because they hit me with a warning strike when I talked about Busta. Remember Busta Rhymes put out a video or at a show, he was talking about the mask. I commented on him. I'm a proponent of wearing masks, so I don't know what bad information they said I put out there. I have no idea. They don't tell you what you did wrong. They hit me with a warning when I was like, I was just talking about this, and I just commented on it like everyone else. They rejected my appeal. So I'm a little paranoid about discussing it on this show. So yeah. Yeah, because, I think they would like to have me gone. Put it that way. They would like to have a brother gone, Johnson. What else? Yeah. Where are we at? We okay? Well, with that said, brother, I thank you for sharing the story about you and your wife having to do certain things in order to secure a home. And you're right, it's disheartening. It really is. But at least you have a means, a way to work around it. You know what I'm saying? So that's good for you to have that means. And I've heard of other people having to do similar, but at least you got a wife that could do it. Like, what about people that don't have friends? Gotta get your friend to be a body double for you. Then when it's time to sign, the real you show up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're back out at that point. So I don't know how that works. But wow, brother. I remember people used to talk about Jay-Z. Remember when Jay-Z did that video? And he was talking about buying this expensive art. Yeah, he was talking about buying this expensive art. Like, yeah, if I should have bought a jumbo or something. And if something like if I would have, now it's worth such and such. How do I feel? Dumbo. And I'm like, Jay-Z never considered, yeah, you could have bought this art or this land 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You could have, but who's to say they would have sold it to you? Like, just because you have money does not mean people are going to sell to you. They don't want you to have it. They don't have to sell to you. That's what the black farmer controversy is about. There are black businesses not getting who underbid, and they still choose the white vendor. Because they're white. Because the vendor is white. They choose the white vendor. They say, well, we want the more reliable vendor. It might be a little bit more, but we'll pay a premium to get the white vendor. This happens all the time. So there are people that believe that people with money have it better. And they do. But never discount racism. It's always there. No one might, look, as my brother Carlos just said, they weren't thinking about it. Like, wow, why aren't we getting called back? Why aren't we getting called back? Oh, damn. Let me fall back. Let you do this. Oh, we got it. Amazing, right? Maybe he just said he was out of town on business. He's so busy. He's on business. Now, he'll be here on the signing. Hey, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Folks, you know what I'm talking about? This makes sense. So Jay-Z, and just because people have money don't mean they understand things. Do I think that maybe Jay-Z knows that folks have to want to sell to you, even if you have the money? This is saying your money's no good here. Because people with money don't need your money. See, people think, oh, because, when I was young, I may have thought that too. Oh, well, I got the money, so they'll just sell it to me. But no, people with assets that they can sell, they don't have to sell to you. So as Carlos pointed out, it's a seller's market. Now, with a pinch, maybe you can have somebody over a barrel. But what I'm saying, when it's a seller's market, as Carlos illustrated, that's a whole different ball of wax. They don't got their hat in their hand going, please buy this property. Please buy this expensive painting that's going to double in value in 10 years. Please take it off my hands. Nah, that's not always how things are going. So I'm going to go to the next call. 925, you're alive. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, am I on?
Yes, 925. Who's this?
Okay, great. Yes, this is Sable. I'm calling from San Francisco Bay Area.
Sable, yes, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. I've been doing a lot of research, and, as it relates to this Dr. Umar Johnson stuff, I think we need to just not spend a lot of time on that because that's just emotional stuff. And that's what they really want to do, as one of the other callers said, is just really to distract us. I've been doing a lot of research and trying to understand why we're constantly put in the position that we are as a people. And in deep research, I found the answer. Now, just before I say that, back when the presidential run was going and Bernie was being asked about reparations, and I remember one interview where he specifically said, when he was asked about reparations, his immediate answer was, it'll never happen. And I was not shocked, but like, wow, really? It'll never happen. So I've been asking myself this question. Why? What does he know? Why is he so emphatic that it will never happen? He knows something. A lot of them up there know. And I found deeply that the United States is a corporation. It is a federal corporation under the U.S. Code Title 28 that says the United States means a federal corporation, an agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States, or an instrumentality of the United States. Now, if the United States is a corporation, then that means it's a business. Businesses do what? Profit. So it is not in their interest to allow Native Black Americans to ever rise to the top. One, because we would be a threat. We would be a threat to the corporation. if we were to rise financially, we would be in positions of power. That would threaten the corporations. Now, the corporation in the United States also has other sub-corporations, 17 to be exact. And of those 17 corporations, give me a moment here, they have, I'm just going to name a few, the Commodity Credit Corporation, Export-Import Bank. These are all corporations, sub-corporations of the United States. Federal Corporate Insurance Corporation, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, Federal Financing Bank, Federal Prison Industries, which is also Unicor. Unicor, the Federal Prison Industries, is a business of the corporation known as United States. Okay? It is in their interest across the board to profit. So there is no benevolence. It's not about shaming. It's not about them doing the right thing. They won't do the right thing because it would not be profitable for them. That's basically what I want to say. But there are a number of corporations, and the fact that they, as a corporation, United States, also have a sub-corporation called Federal Prison Industries, also Unicor, tells you everything.
Well, Sister Sable, I want to thank you for calling up to the show and giving us that information. I had not heard that before. Very interesting. I am going to research this. I am going to look into this. And I know that's precisely why you called up and shared the information, so that people can become knowledgeable of it and look it up for themselves. I'm going to do the same thing. Look, full disclosure, man, when you first started talking, Sable, I said, oh, man, she's going to hit me, because I supported Bernie at one point. And barring a black agenda, I thought he was the better candidate as far as policy. If I was not a black American, I've been ecstatic about his policies. But as a black American, now that I've become more educated, I realize that those policies, universal policies, we never bode too well for black Americans. If history serves us correct, if history stands, if based on history, we end up at the bottom of those programs. We get the crumbs of those programs. So, not being aware of that, I did think that Bernie had the best packages as far as working class people of any stripe. But now that now that I have changed my focus, I have to agree with you, man. I woke up, this was like 2016 when he first made that comment. In 2020, I was very critical of him, not supporting reparations. And I thought, originally, Sable, I thought his lack of support for reparations was something he was going to change later. Like, we tend to do this. Now, this is stupid, Sable. Well, it's naive. It's naive to try to think what politicians are thinking. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people like me who were progressive or on the left or whatever we were. Well, he's only doing this because it's a gotcha question. And if he says we can get reparations, they're going to use that against him. It's going to screw him in some of the southern states. So he's got to say that, because if you don't say that, and before you know it, you prestled yourself in all types of configurations. Unfortunately, I don't believe that was the case. It was no strategy. It was no grand strategy on his behalf to throw Hillary off the trail. It was just what it was. Now, the media at the time, Sable, they stayed focused on it, as if other candidates said they did support reparations when they hadn't. So they did try to use it against him. So it kind of gave them cover, you know what I'm saying? Because it looked that way until a lot of people on the left, it started to look that way because Hillary never supported reparations. They weren't even asking her about it. It's kept on Bernie about reparations. So it became kind of like, but back to what your call was about. I have to look into it. I really don't know. How do I feel about it? I wouldn't be surprised if there is some type of if there is an unwritten rule that this won't happen. Even if there is an unwritten rule, okay? I'm going to continue to push for it because I think it's the right thing. I'm going to continue to push for it because it's a debt that's owed. There you go. Give it up for my caller, y'all. Dope stuff. Incredibly important conversation going on here, guys. And I definitely appreciate it. Wow. Did I bring in 925? Why is 925 not listed? Hold on, guys. This seems weird.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you had me muted.
Okay, thank you, sister.
I had one.
Okay, go right ahead. I thought we were done, but my bad, go right ahead.
Okay, yes. I just wanted to say that another deep thought that I had, because it is a corporation, I believe that the system is designed such to make us think that we really have a say when they really already know what they're doing. And so the politicians at the highest levels, they're not really politicians, they're employees. They're upper level executives for the corporation. And like every upper level executive in a corporation, it's their responsibility to ensure that the corporation remains and continues to be profitable.
Wow, that's a strong argument.
Think about it.
Yeah, it's a strong argument you got going there, sister, I tell you. That's a strong... That's
all I have to say.
Yeah. That's a strong argument. It's a dismal argument, but it's strong. Give it up for Sable once again, yo. Yeah. That would answer a lot of questions, wouldn't it? About this whole two wings of the same bird, wouldn't it? That would sort of give me the impression that all this we're doing is sort of like theater. Hey, stand over there. Okay. You stand over there. Now when you punch, I'm going to do like this, okay? Now, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, man. I can't believe you hit me. And this dude, okay, cut. Okay, scene 2. Let's pretend to get this bill through the house. Let's try. Now you don't move off the 2 trillion. You push for 3 trillion, and we'll come around at 1.5 trillion. All right, go. All right, I'm just saying, like, it makes sense. I got to let this swirl out of my head. Say was probably known this for some time. She came in here dropping bombs, just dropping bomb and anvils on people. I tell you, I need an explosion. You say something like that, the room clears. Anybody still here? Sabre cleared the room. Ain't nobody left. Everybody left, went home. Messing with Sabre with her, it's all a corporation. We're done. It's a wrap here. Unless the corporation goes bankrupt, then it can file Chapter 11, right? PSYOP. Self-taught artist said poverty is legislated. Self-taught artist says knowingly.
90 seconds.
All right, guys. I've got a headache. What a night. What a night. Look, I want to go to the comment section. Oh, I want to thank everybody who called up tonight. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Let's thank everybody who called up tonight. Wow. Let's do that.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Thing is loud, right? Why wasn't the phone that loud earlier? Folks, thank you for calling into this show. Great calls tonight, great folks. I want to thank everybody who donated to the show tonight. Daggone it, why is it? Oh man, I don't have this thing listed here. What's going on? What did I do? Okay. So unfortunately, guys, I got to go pull this up, but it won't take long. I'll go jump out here on this calendar real quick. William McGregor's in the house. William McGregor. Best I can do today. Sorry, my brother. Nah, brother, no sorries. No sorries at all. Nothing to be sorry about, brother. Thank you, William. I appreciate it. Robin M. Black by Magic. He. That's what it was. Little magic. That's what's going on. Self-taught artist. That's why he'll always be the champ. A true heavyweight. Give it up for that. Wow. Jay said, oh, that's from another show. What's going on? Okay, my bad. Got to scroll to the top. Keith Weston, as earlier he stated, it's finally Freedom Friday, and we made it through this week together. I want to thank Tim and Caleb Joy. We received the wristbands in the Wolfpack package today before heading to work tonight. I'm wearing both bands right now. Keep rocking, TB. We're getting better and stronger. Hashtag Freedom Friday, hashtag TBTV. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Keith, you're something else, man. Sheldon Hughes came through. Sheldon. He says, hi, Tim. We appreciate all your hard work. Lots of love to you and Mrs. Black and all the Wolfpack. Thank you, Sheldon, my brother. My brother, my brother, my brother. Sally Thompson came through. Happy 68th birthday to my Mr. T, Jake. Happy birthday, Jake. You're a lucky man, Jake. Have drinks on us, Tim, and spicy love with Mrs. P.S. We got our cut the check bands today. What? The bands went out. I want everyone to know. She said Jake and her are wearing their bands today. Look, guys, Mrs. Black took care of all of that. So, thank you so much. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Jake. I also want to give a big shout out to Mama Alaska, a.k.a. Laura. She hit me up on DMs and says she's doing well, and she just wanted to check in. So we miss you, Laura, and we wish you so much. I wish you well so much, and we hope to hear from you soon, and we hope to get back to hearing you call into the show. Thanks for reaching out. Wolfpack love, baby. Now remember, guys, if you want your own wristband, if you are already a member of the show on Facebook or YouTube or Patreon, all you got to do is send us your address to clientcare@timblacktv.com, and you get two of these. Now, if you're not a member but you still want one, or if you are a member and you want yours, do this. Here's a great way to get one. I endorse this. Here we go. So remember, this weekend is Binge on Tim Black night, or weekend. Binge on Tim Black's podcast on the Pause Podcast. So go to timblackpause.com and follow our podcast. If you write a review and get two of these. All you got to do is send us proof that you wrote a review. And we'll send you 2 Cut the Check wristbands. It's that important. Not only will you help me you can't even see the wristbands. The wristbands are green and I'm using the green screen. So this is actually green. There we go. See this? That's actually green. Okay. I got a bag of these. Help me get rid of them. Help me get rid of my wristbands. I can't have all these wristbands. I only got 2 wrists. So please go to timblackpause.com, be a part of it, binge watch some Tim Black podcasts, and write a review. Help the world know about this podcast. Help me defeat Rachel Maddow. Help me defeat her. She don't deserve it. She's number 200. I want to make it to the 200, so help me get there. I'm your guy. Wolfpack. Wow. What a night, guys. What a night. I'm still thinking about Miss Sable, what she said calling up here, dropping bombs like that. That'd be against the law, call up here and shut it down. Self-taught artist in the house. Good to see you, self-taught artist. What's up, my brother? What's up, self-taught? How you been, man? Self-taught is the original OG, y'all. We ain't forgot about you, brother. Thank you for all that you've done. Real talk. That's all I got, guys. We are good. We good? Have a great weekend, guys. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And we're going to fight for ours. Remember, we're down with universal policies, but first we got to get them to cut the check. Reparations and a black agenda. Wow. Something else, right? Was Bernie Sanders being the most honest person in politics like ever? Was he saying he don't want you to get it, or was he saying it'll never happen? Because it's the truth about America. And was he saying that because he thinks America's so racist, or is he saying it for some other reason? Sable! Sable Winter says, who sits on the board of the directors? All right, now stop, Sable. I don't want to know no more. You stop. I'm good tonight. I got enough research to do. I'm only one man. I'm a doctor, not a magician. Kirk. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a magician. They all do. Good morning from Italy. Cut the check. I'm God, guys. I'm going to go upstairs and get me 2 aspirin and something to eat because this is horrible. How brother not going to eat since like 10 o'clock this morning? It's like, Tim, come on, Blackie. Tim Black, what's wrong with you? All right, guys, I'm good. Remember, TimBlackPause.com. Write a review for the podcast. Find the Tim Black Pause podcast wherever you find podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts. They say repetition is how you know, it's important. So, Tim Black, you don't push it enough. Well, I'm promoting this podcast because I will not let Rachel Maddow beat me. Wolfpack. A lot of times I'm watching like news, or when I'm watching...
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. subscribe.